extinction. It is a word that signifies the end, a period at the end of a sentence. It means gone forever. When we think of the dodo, the passenger pigeon, or the woolly mammoth, we look at them as ghosts, echoes of a time that will never return. But what if we are wrong? History is filled with what scientists call the Lazarus Taxon. These are creatures declared extinct, erased from the textbooks, only to be found alive and breathing decades, or even millions of years later. From the dense, unexplored jungles of the Congo to the crushing black depths of the Mariana Trench, our planet is still largely a mystery. Today, we are going beyond the obvious. We are investigating the evidence, the sightings, and the science behind the creatures that are supposed to be dead, but might just be watching us from the shadows. Before we dive into the cryptids and the monsters, we have to establish one thing. Science isn't always right. The most famous example of this is a fish called the coelacanth. According to the fossil record, this prehistoric fish died out 66 million years ago. It went extinct alongside the dinosaurs. For nearly a century of modern paleontology, it was a fact. They were gone. Until 1938, a museum curator in South Africa found a strange, blue, limb-finned fish in a fisherman's catch. It was a coelacanth. It hadn't evolved. It hadn't changed. It was simply hiding in the deep, unnoticed by humanity for 66 million years. If a 6-foot fish can hide from us for that long, what else is out there? What other ghosts are actually flesh and blood? Let's move to one of the most controversial cases in modern history, the thylacine, better known as the Tasmanian tiger. This wasn't a dinosaur. This was a marsupial apex predator that lived in Australia, Tasmania, and New Guinea. But due to hunting and disease, the last known thylacine, named Benjamin, died in a gloomy zoo in Hobart in 1936. Or did it? Since that day, there have been over 3,800 reported sightings of the Tasmanian tiger. And these aren't just stories from tourists. We are talking about park rangers, biologists, and seasoned bushmen. The thylacine has a very distinct way of moving and a unique striped lower back. In recent years, footage has emerged from the dense forests of Tasmania that defies explanation. Even more interesting is a study released recently by scientists analyzing the statistical probability of their survival. The Tasmanian wilderness is rugged, dense, and largely impenetrable. If a small population survived the cull in the 1930s, they could easily remain hidden. Unlike Bigfoot or the Loch Ness Monster, the thylacine was real. We have photos of it, and it was alive less than 100 years ago. The question isn't if they existed, it's if they ever really left. Now, let's leave the land and go where humans are most vulnerable. The ocean. We have explored less than 5% of our oceans. We know more about the surface of Mars than we do about the bottom of the Pacific. And this is where the legend of the Megalodon lives on. The Megalodon was the largest shark to ever live, up to 60 feet long, with teeth the size of a human hand. Science tells us they went extinct about 3.6 million years ago as the oceans cooled and whale migration patterns changed. But here's the theory. Did they go extinct, or did they go deep? We know that phenomenon called deep-sea gigantism exists, where creatures grow to massive sizes in the cold depths, like the colossal squid, which was considered a myth until we found one. There have been reports from submarines and sonar operators detecting massive biological masses moving at depths where no whale should be. While a predator that size would need a lot of food, the depths of the ocean are full of giant squid and other massive prey. Is it likely? Perhaps not. Is it possible that a population of prehistoric sharks adapted to the pressure of the abyss? In a world where we discover new deep-sea species every year, we cannot say for sure. Finally, we travel to the Likuala region of the Republic of the Congo, a vast swamp larger than the state of Florida, mostly untouched by modern man. For centuries, the indigenous people here have told stories of a creature. They don't call it a monster. To them, it's just another animal. They call it Mokalembembe. The descriptions are chillingly consistent. A body like an elephant, a long neck, a small head, and a long tail. It sounds exactly like a sauropod dinosaur. Western explorers in the early 20th century recorded these tracks. They showed the locals pictures of elephants, hippos, and rhinos. The locals identified them correctly. But when shown a drawing of a brontosaurus, they pointed and said, Mokale Mbembe. Skeptics say it's probably a misidentified rhino or a new species of giant turtle. But the Congo Basin is a time capsule. It has remained climatically stable for millions of years. If a dinosaur were to survive the asteroid, this is exactly where it would be. The line between science and legend is often thinner than we think. The coelacanth taught us that nature is good at keeping secrets. The thylacine teaches us that hope remains even after tragedy. And the deep oceans remind us of how small we really are. Are these creatures wandering the dark corners of our Earth right now? Or are they just shadows of the past? Let me know in the comments. Which of these extinct creatures do you think has the best chance of still being alive today? If you enjoyed this journey into the unknown, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Beyond the Obvious, because the truth is rarely what it seems. Thanks for watching.